What's the worst case of main character syndrome you've witnessed? My coworker Carmen literally tried to steal her best friend's wedding. I've known Carmen for about 3 years now. She's always been that person who thinks every conversation is about her. If you mention you got a promotion, she'll somehow make it about how she deserves one more. If you say you're sick, she'll start talking about her worst illness from 2 years ago. She's exhausting but mostly harmless. Until her best friend Rachel got engaged last spring. Rachel's this sweet girl who works in accounting. Super quiet, never causes drama. She asked Carmen to be her maid of honor, and Carmen was over the moon. At first, everything seemed normal. Carmen posted congratulations on Instagram, helped pick out venues, did all the typical bridesmaid stuff, but then the attention started getting to her. Rachel was obviously getting all these likes on her engagement photos, people asking about wedding plans, coworkers bringing her little gifts, and Carmen just couldn't handle not being the center of attention. She started making these little comments during our lunch breaks. Like she'd say stuff like, "I wonder if they'll actually make it down the aisle," or "She's being so picky about the flowers, like girl, it's just one day." We all thought she was just stressed about maid of honor duties or whatever, but then wedding week happened, and Carmen completely lost it. The rehearsal dinner was on a Friday night at this nice restaurant. All the wedding party was supposed to wear navy blue. Simple enough, right? Carmen shows up in this bright white sequin dress that was honestly more flashy than Rachel's actual wedding dress. It had these huge puffy sleeves and everything. Rachel's mom looked like she was about to cry. The groom's family kept whispering and pointing, but Rachel didn't want to cause a scene, so she just smiled and pretended everything was fine. Carmen spent the whole dinner taking selfies and posting them with captions like "glowing tonight" and "some people are just born to stand out." The next morning, Carmen posted this Instagram story that made everyone's jaw drop. It was her getting ready in full glam makeup with the caption, "Getting dolled up for the event of the year. Guess who's the real belle of the ball?" She tagged the venue and used all of Rachel's wedding hashtags. People in the comments were so confused asking if Carmen was getting married too. But the absolute worst part happened at the reception. Everything had been going pretty smoothly. Rachel looked beautiful, the ceremony was perfect, people were dancing and having fun. Then came time for the maid of honor toast. Carmen grabbed the microphone, and what was supposed to be a quick 2-minute speech turned into this nightmare that lasted almost 10 minutes. She started off normal enough talking about how she'd known Rachel since college, but then it got weird. She started telling this long story about how she's actually the one who introduced Rachel to her now husband Dan at a party, except that wasn't even true. They met at work. Then Carmen said how she could have dated Dan first if she'd played her cards right, but she let Rachel have him because she's such a good friend. People were looking around like, what the hell is happening? Rachel's face went completely red. Dan looked pissed, but Carmen just kept going. She talked about how she almost moved to New York for this amazing job but decided to stay so Rachel wouldn't be lonely. Again, total lie. Carmen never even applied for jobs in New York. The worst part was when she said Rachel should be grateful to have such a loyal friend who always puts others first. She actually said, "I've always been the giver in this friendship." The room got so quiet you could hear people's forks hitting their plates. Even the little kids stopped running around. Carmen was just standing there with the microphone, smiling like she'd just given the speech of the century. She kept going for another few minutes about her own relationship goals and career ambitions. At one point she said, "I guess some of us are just meant to shine brighter than others," while looking directly at Rachel. That's when the DJ decided he'd had enough. He straight up muted her microphone mid-sentence. Carmen kept talking for a few seconds before she realized nobody could hear her. She tapped the mic confused and the DJ said over the speakers, "Sorry folks, we're not running the Carmen show tonight. This is Rachel and Dan's wedding." Carmen's face went bright red and she threw the microphone down on the floor and stormed out crying. She grabbed her purse and coat and just left. Didn't even say goodbye to Rachel or apologize or anything. After she left, everyone started talking and laughing about what just happened. Rachel finally relaxed and actually enjoyed the rest of her wedding.